Welcome back to Garden Talk, brought to you by the Penn State Erie County Extension Master Gardeners. And again, today I'm your co-host, Mike Bailey, along with Ellen. Ellen, are you there?
Hi, Mike. I am. I'm
Yes.
here.
Hey. Last time around, we talked a lot about the importance of sunshine if you're starting a garden. We're trying to address the novice garden here, also gardener, okay, to make sure that they have some of the basic components in place because we want to, have them be set up for success, don't we? Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely. Okay. And we cautioned you about trying to bite off too many things as far as what you want to plant, et cetera, and stuff like that. But, once you get past sunshine, you got to start to look at the soil. And,
hmm
the soil is so very, very important. And one of the things, when somebody calls me and they want to start a garden, after we get past talking about sunshine, I says, have you gone out there and you tried to stick a shovel in the ground? And the reason I say that is because we live in the Erie area here, and we help people in some center city gardens, and sometimes they go to these vacant lots next to their house, etc., and they want to start a garden there. But what they forget is that 10 years ago there used to be a house there, and somebody tore it down and backfilled it with all this garbage. And you go out there and I tried to stick my shovel in the ground, but I wouldn't go more than an inch and a half. Yeah, you're right, and you're not going to be able to plant in that without modifying some things and probably going to raised beds. And we'll talk about that in future sessions. But you got to think about that when you talk about soil. Uh, and most people don't think about the soil and they don't think about the root structure when they think about a garden and plants, etc. But that's where the plant gets all its nutrients and all of its water is out of that soil. So, that plant, those roots have to have the ability to move and to spread out, without too much trouble so that they can absorb that material that they need to produce a healthy plant. Because if the roots aren't healthy, the plant above the ground is going to look terrible. So you got to make sure that there's an opportunity to have healthy root structure. And when we talk about, good soil, we talk about a lot of soil with some good compost in it. And when I talk about compost, you can purchase it at a store if you want, or you can use, shredded leaves. You can use grass clippings that are from a lawn that hasn't been treated. You can grind up some straw and put it in there, etc. And all kinds of good nutrients. We feed our soil all the time in the gardens that we do, don't we, Ellen?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, it's so very, very important. We like to get to that soil to a point where it's good and healthy, then we continually feed it. Because when we grow plants, we're taking nutrients out of that soil, and we want to try to replace them. Because there's a lot of things in that soil, like the bugs and the beetles and the ants and the worms and the spiders and the bacteria and the fungus and the viruses that are so very, very important. They break down that organic material and they release the nutrients in that organic material and they put it in a form so that the roots can actually absorb it. So very, very
Mhm.
important. But
Right.
what about water, Ellen?
Well, water is very important also. I mean, 90% of your vegetables and your fruit are made up of water. So every year we go through dry spells and where it's not raining and all of that. So you have to make sure that you have a very convenient source of water. If your garden's going to be small and it's not too far away from a faucet, you can carry it. But if it's larger and further away, you might want to look at a another source like a hose or something like that. But you have to make sure that you have sufficient water to maintain your garden throughout the growing season. And then we wanted to move into making sure that when we plant, remember we're going to primarily use transplants as opposed or seeds as opposed to starting our own seeds. But you want to wait and make sure that the air and the soil has warmed up to the proper temperature that you need to plant. Now, your cooler weather plants like lettuce and beets, you can plant them earlier. We've planted before when it's frosted, and some of those plants survived, some of them didn't. But if they didn't survive, we planted with seeds, so seeds inexpensive, and you can replant. However, your warm weather plants, you have to be very careful, like your tomatoes and your eggplants and your peppers. You're going to primarily use transplants for that, which need warmer temperatures, at least 55 degrees. So I wouldn't plant those until like the end of May. And hopefully there won't be any frost, but you never know in Erie, there could be. So we mentioned transplants. So if you're a new gardener, and we do the same thing, the best thing is to purchase plants like tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, and your herbs from a garden center. Use transplants. Other plants can be direct seeded, like your cucumbers, zucchini, summer squash, and your root crops, of course, carrots and beets. Use seeds. Seeds are inexpensive. If they don't grow when you're first planting, plant them again. But that way you'll have more success. How about that, Mike?
Oh, well, that's wonderful, and and
Okay.
I'm glad you kind of reemphasized the point to some of the novice gardeners that maybe you should buy some plants. Okay, the first year round, don't bite off more than you can manage. Okay, try to get that garden to the point where everything is growing nice and healthy, and so that you can feel good about it and be successful. And I guess the other thing I keep going back is all of these different factors. Okay, is that don't make it difficult. Okay, do a little planning, do a little preparation, set yourself up for success, and you'll do much better. There's
Right.
many right ways. I learned this at work a long time ago. There's a lot of right ways to do my job. There's a lot of right ways to do gardening. But there are a few mistakes you might want to avoid along the line, and hopefully we've tried to identify those points that are very important. So don't be afraid to get out there and improvise a little bit, and do things as you want. So and enjoy your garden. Ellen, you want to add anything?
Nope, I was just going to add that the most important thing is to enjoy your garden. It should be fun.
Yes, good advice. So thank you for listening. Now, see you next
Have a
time.
good day.
Bye bye.